Okay, so I'm going to go to Command, and then I'll share my screen. Okay, perfect. So a couple of the things that I was going to focus on with this is one, social media, and then two is like mailers, specifically how you would go create a mailer. Thursday is when we're doing, like, we're going over listing presentations in a little more detail. So you can do that. So everything that we're going to make is in designs. So it's just over here on the left side. Okay, so yours is going to look a little bit different than mine just because I have so many templates going. So one of the questions that I got asked a couple of days ago is how do I go create my market updates, the ones that I'm posting on social media? How do I go create my own? So I'll just show you how I do it. And you can probably play around with MLS and share whatever statistics you want, but I'll use this as an example of a social media post I would go create. So I'm just going to go open up the MLS. And then once I'm in, this is just what I do every single day. I just go under search and full, which is how you probably just search homes anyways. And it's going to show just default as active. So I just go number of days back because I want to tell the story of the whole MLS. So I let my clients know that people are still doing real estate. That's the story I'm wanting to tell right now. So if I go click number of days back and just have it be active and click view results, this number is the search criteria. Oops, I didn't mean to pull it up. So I have, since yesterday, there's been 140 homes that have been listed. So then I'm just gonna go clear out the status and change it to under contract. And now I'm at 109. That's how many went under contract yesterday. So for those of you that just joined, I'm just showing how I pull this data to report out on what's new on the MLS. And then I'm going to go back and show you how to do the marketing on it. I just thought having an actual example would be nice. And then I'm just going to change it to sold. And it looks like there were 47 homes that moved to sold since yesterday. Okay, so I have these three statistics, and that's what I want to let my clients know, so that they know people are still doing real estate. So then I'm going to go back to command. Again, we're just in the design section. And if yours looks different than mine, it's because you don't have as many templates, right? Because you just maybe haven't even used it yet. So that's fine. So we're just going to go, and anytime we go create a new thing, we're going to go push this blue plus sign. So that's the first step. And then the second step is just to say, what are we trying to make? So I'm trying to make something that's going to go on social media. And this matters just because of the format, right? So if I click print, that's going to be an 8.5 by 11 template. And maybe I don't ever plan on printing this. Maybe it's just going on social media, right? So I'm going to go click social. And then I'm going to go click next. And then it's going to open up the template screen of everything I can make for social media. So similar to a lot of times I bring up the word Canva and people have either never heard of it or they're like, oh, I use it all the time. There's like two categories. So if you're in the I've never heard of it category, what Canva is basically awesome templates for things that you would need in your business, for resumes, for Facebook covers, for Instagram posts, pretty much anything you can think of. And then from there, you can tweak the templates and make them your colors or how you want it, right? So designs is the same but they're going to be real estate specific. So you might get in here, play around with it. If you're familiar with Canva, you might go, oh, there's some things I like more about Canva, and that's great. Why I lean towards Command with anything real estate is it's already like talking about just listed, just sold, things that are applicable to my real estate business, and I don't have to start from scratch. So those are kind of the two differences.
Cost on Canva?
What'd you say?
What's the cost on Canva? What's the cost?
So Canva, yeah, it's free. You can use Canva for free. There is a paid version where you have a little bit more functionality, like some of the templates that they have in there get fancy, and then you have to like pay for it. Like if it has a cool like grid, then it might say, oh, you have to pay $1 for that. But I honestly have used Canva for 1.5 years, and I would say I've maybe put like $5 into it. So your free account should do anything you need if you want to use that. So this first example, social media, I told you I wanted to kind of report out on the market every day. So this, on the templates on the left-hand side, this pivot shift ahead, this is brand new and it's made for telling the story of the market, right? Because they know that our clients might be worried about, oh, everything else is stopped, so is real estate. So we're just going to I like to say, control the narrative, right? And so I'm going to pick a template that I like most. So I have been using this one on the far right. So you can use whatever one you want. And I would just suggest that you focus on the layout of it, okay? So if I like how this has these boxes right here, I don't have to love that font. I can go change the font. I can change the colors. I can even move that around, but I'm going to pick the template that's closest to what I already am going for. And that's a personal preference. So I'm going to pick this one just because it's already what I've been posting. So this isn't, marketing class specifically, but marketing 101 is the more consistent you can be, then you're building upon your brand rather than like, today I posted this, and you're not really like throwing out a consistent color scheme or, certain things like that. So that's just the one little marketing tip I would plug into anything you guys are doing is make sure it's just consistent. If you have a just listed post that you're going to do, spend some time on the first one and then just make that one the same. So then people get used to what your brand looks like. So I'm going to go click this far right one, and I'm just going to go click use. And then it's going to pull up the template. Okay, so I've got this blank canvas. If you guys have not used Canva yet, you're not going to have these logos in here or your picture or anything like that. So you just want to go in and upload any logos you want to use. If you want to use team logo, the brokerage logo. Eden actually shared the whole zip file of logos on our Facebook page the other day, so you can go and just download that whole zip file. But once they're in here, then it makes it easy. So I never have to go in and upload this every time I go create something because it's already here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of this DBA logo because it's not our right logo. And so I just click on it and then click delete. And then I'm just going to go add in KW South Valley's logo. And again, doesn't have a huge learning curve. You can see you can resize stuff. And I can put this wherever I want. It's if you have used Canva, it's similar to where I see how that line pops up. That's just to help you center your design. So you guys will kind of get used to some of this stuff. So I've uploaded the logo. I like this font, but let's say I didn't. If I clicked on it, see up here, it has fonts and sizes. You can go change that to anything that you want and change the size. And then here is where you would change the color. And so these numbers are already here. So I'm just going to go and plug in those numbers I grabbed from MLS. So there were 140 new listings. There were 109 contracts. And there were 47 closings. I pulled it for 1 day back, so the last 24 hours is correct. And then updated, I'm just going to put 04. '14, and then information taken from, and then I'm just going to change this to WFR MLS. So I feel good with all this. It's nice because it's just a template I don't have to do too much on. I'm actually going to lower this a little bit so it kind of lines up with this. So that's an easy example, but now I'm going to show you how you download it. So up here, there's this download button. So a couple of things you want to get familiar with these designs is right here is where you actually go and change the name. I would suggest changing the name so that your template screen makes sense. It's not just like all these random names. So maybe I could just name this market, daily market, oops, my Zoom thing over it, daily market update. And then it will automatically save if you notice right here, but I like to just always click File, Save, just as a triple check. And then when I'm going to go download it, you guys can see I have numerous options. Most likely if this is going on social media, I can just JPEG's great. And I don't need to change any like settings or anything like this. So I'm just going to go click download. And then you guys will see it's popping up on my downloads right here. And then when I open it, let's see, where did it go? Oh, there we go. And then it just pulled up, how's the market? Now I've got it and I'm good. And then if I want to go back out to my templates, I'm just going to click done. And then you guys will notice, sorry, I have my 3-year-old right here, so she might make an appearance. So I would have just gone into my old template, but I wanted to show you guys how to create a new one. So now I have 2 in there. But now it's nice because this is just right here, the template I can open up every day and edit and change it. And then if I just wanted to sort my social media template, if I click social, it's just going to show me my social media template. If I click print, it's just going to show me my print templates. So that's kind of how you do that. Does anyone have any questions just like on the social media marketing side? There's a lot of templates that do a lot of different things, I will tell you that. But pretty much you're going to go click on the category, find what one you want to create, and then go from there. So the next one I wanted to show you, because this is the one I get the most questions on, is mailers. So if you haven't already dove into campaigns, you can actually order mailers straight through command, and you can do based on targeting your database, or the one that I like the most is you can target a specific neighborhood. So that is super valuable because you don't have to go compile addresses, ask the title company. You can say, let's say you're wanting to farm a specific neighborhood, you can make a neighborhood specific marketing piece, and you can put in the address and it will target the addresses around that neighborhood. So that's the detailed, the next one I'm going to show you, because mailers is a little bit different on how you would save it, but it's generally the same on how you would edit the template. So I'm going to go and click add, and then same rule of thumb, what am I going to make? I'm going to make something that's eventually going to be printed. So I want to click print. And then I'm going to click next, and then it's going to take a second, and then it's going to open up all the templates. Okay, so I forget which category it's in. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so in either category, listings or buyers, there's going to be a section that says neighborhood snaps. So I'm just showing you an example of one I'm going to pick. Obviously, you can do this exact same thing if once you list a home, once a price changes on a home, but I like to throw this one out there in case you are just trying to lead gen and get more business or get new business. It's not that you necessarily have a current property to market. So neighborhood snaps is the category. So I'm going to go click this. And then you guys will notice up here is based on the format. So I'm in neighborhood snaps, but flyer would be, okay, I want to make something cool that I'm going to go drop by people's houses. Probably not going to do that for the next 30 days. So I'm going to just click over. Door hangers, same thing. It's nice because it just formats it to be a door hanger size. Postcards is the one that I'm interested in because I can go and edit this info and then it can automatically be sent out and going to their mailbox. So I'm going to pick this one. I kind of like the layout of this one more. So I'm just going to go click use. I also like to go through this one in detail because I don't think people would know how to use neighborhood snaps if we didn't dive into it because you just haven't used this design portal yet. So we're going to go and create a specific marketing piece for, let's say, I think it's called Sycamore Hills. It's a neighborhood in West Jordan. So I'm going to go to this KWLS button, and then you guys will see this. This is snapshot. So if you wanted to market, and this isn't on, we're not creating a just listed postcard, but it will look the same. When you're doing a just listed postcard, you can search by the MLS number right here, and you can actually search your MLS number and it'll pull up the detail on your listing, and you can just easily put info and pictures from your listing on there. So not for this one, but that's also a cool thing that you'll use eventually. So snapshots is going to be a neighborhood name or searching by a postal code. So the one thing that you do have to know is what the neighborhood name is. So how I find that out, some things are obvious, right? Like Daybreak. Okay, I can look that up. I know what Daybreak is. But some of these neighborhoods, especially if you don't live in them, you don't know what they're called. So how I would find out the neighborhood name is you just basically put it in as an address on one of the contacts in your database, and it will automatically assign the neighborhood so you know what it's named. So that's how I do it, because neighborhoods is different than subdivision. Because in agent land, we kind of think more subdivision because that's what's on the MLS. So just a little tip. I can help you with any of that if you need help. So I know that this is called, I feel like it's called Sycamores. Let's just look up Sycamores. Yeah, so it's called Sycamores at Jordan Hills. Okay.
Hey, can I just ask you a quick question? How do they determine the neighborhoods? Like where did that come from? Is that like from a city plot, or where did that come from?
So it's a good question. So it's coming from a company called Nextdoor, and you may have even received a marketing piece for Nextdoor at your own property. Basically, it's an independent company that's compiling data. So some neighborhood data is going to be awesome. You're going to be really happy with it, and some you're going to go, okay, do these people even know anything about this neighborhood, right? So it's going to be one or the other. Just know that their information gets perfected as people release data, right? So I got something in the mail that said, Nextdoor is asking for info on your neighborhood. So the more people that go and fill out the information on that, the better their data is going to be, right? So they're operating off data just like the rest of every company is. So this will just continue to get better. As far as the numbers though, that all comes from the MLS. So the neighborhood boundaries are going to be designated by Nextdoor. However, if it's an address or a specific location, based on that perimeter it drew, it's going to say how many are active or pending in that neighborhood. And that is data from the MLS, which is, we feel reliable. That's reliable, right? So
definitely.
boundaries
cool. Thank you so much.
You may have an opinion about the boundaries. The main one that I know is an issue is Bluffdale. Basically, the city of Bluffdale is an entire city or entire neighborhood. And if you guys are familiar with Bluffdale, like you got Independence, you've got a ton of like horse pasture area, you've got like all these super nice houses. I mean, it's all over the place, right? As is every neighborhood. So obviously a whole city can't be a neighborhood. So that's one definitely on their list to update. But most of the time, I think that the marketing piece is great and it draws information, gives people information. It's, yeah, most of the time I'm feeling good about it. So I've looked up the Sycamores. It's in West Jordan. So this has given me 3 options, and I'm just going to go and delete what's currently in there. And then I'm just going to go click add, and I'm going to add this new piece. So something you'll notice about the state of Utah is we're a non-disclosure state. So your sold price will never populate on this marketing piece because it's coming from the MLS. So you can go in and, try to figure out like what that is. I'm not familiar with how to do that. You can leave it as NA, or you could even like put something over this. You could maybe put like a little black box over it. So it just depends on your preference. The NA doesn't bug me. If it bugs you, you've got a couple of different options, but that is why it is saying NA. So there is currently 5 active in that neighborhood. There's 9 pending. Average days on market is 10, and this is the price per square foot. Okay. So this is me. I'm going to send it around this neighborhood, but I just want people to look at this and go, oh, cool, this is some info on my neighborhood. This is not just like, hey, I'm an agent information. It's actually information that I might want to know about my own neighborhood. It's hyperlocal. So I've got that already. I'm just going to go change this. And again, you get to decide if it's italic, if it's bold, if it's a different font, the color, you get to do whatever you want on all this. This is a stock photo. There actually is a whole library of photos in here and icons. However, if you don't love a picture, then you can go and remove it. Oh yeah, it's under images. So let's say lifestyle. Okay, maybe I don't like this one. Maybe I like this one. And then I can just like move it and then click done. So you can see how it can change. If you have copyright or images that aren't copyrighted, that's great to upload in here. Otherwise, these images are all safe to use. You're not going to get in trouble for using images that aren't copyrighted. So it's just something to note. So you guys get the idea of how, and sometimes when you go drag these in here, it can take a minute to upload. So, and then when you double click on it, it's going to let you change like where they are in here, right? So I moved them over so all the people are in here. And now it looks a little bit better. Okay, so let's say I'm super happy with this. So down here, if I click on pages, this is the front of the postcard. When I go click on the back, I'm going to also customize that postcard. Okay. So I'm going to go and change, I'm going to go put a new logo in here. I'm going to put my information, my picture. This spot is empty for the address. You'll get a chance to preview this, so you'll know if it's overlapping or not. But you just get to write a little bit about the neighborhood, write whatever you want. You guys get the idea? It's nice that it's just like a template. You have to know a little bit about the neighborhood, or you can kind of make your own thing up. But yeah, so you've got two sides of this postcard now that are ready to get mailed out. So this is the thing that you want to write down. So our mailer in the campaign section, when you go upload a mailer, everyone always has issues uploading it. And I don't know why the system is like this, but everyone has issues because you're thinking, okay, I need to upload an image. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'll speak for myself. I need to go upload an image, so I download an image. Based on the sizing of the postcard, you have to do it a specific way. So we're recording this, but even if you want to screenshot this, so for each side of the postcard, you want to go download and then get PDF. So you're going to do this for each side, right? So you have to upload the front of the card and the back of the card as two separate images. And I'm going to change it to high resolution. And then under publish settings, I'm going to say use manual bleed. So those are the exact settings. So I like take a picture with your phone, screenshot it, whatever, write it down, that you want to download anything you're making for a postcard so that it will upload correctly in Command. So I'm going to go and download this. And you'll see it says preparing right there. And then download ready. And then it'll pop down here, okay? And then I'm gonna go do this exact same thing from 2 to 2, keep everything else the same, and then download my second image. And just so this same process can be used if you're making a just listed postcard, or maybe you're under the buyer section, there's an open house postcard. I still think it's a good idea to, even if you're just posting on social media, I think it's a good idea to continue advertising virtual open houses if you're holding them, you know, just keeping consistent, but, you know, moving it to a different format for 45 days. Lets people know like you're still in business. So I've got these two downloaded. So how you get back to Command, again, I'm going to save this just because I might want to use it again. And then I could go change the name if I wanted. But how you get back to Command is I just go and type the browser again, because this design section kind of takes you to a different URL. So now I actually want to go and do the mailer for it. So I'm going to show you guys that part of the step just because I feel like it's really important to be able to go do this if you want to today. So under the campaign section, is where we actually go do things like our Facebook ads and our direct mail, and we can even schedule social media posts. So I'm going to go click create a new campaign. We are having this month a class just about Facebook ads, so don't worry if you want to put that on your schedule for things to learn in command, it's already on the schedule. So I'm going to go click direct mail, and then it's just going to ask me to name the campaign. So maybe I'll just name it Sycamore's Neighborhood. Just any kind of name that I know what it is. And then I'm saying, what is my goal? Really, I'm just trying to attract listings, okay? And then I'm gonna go upload a custom template. And then I'm just gonna click set up campaign. So the next page is just gonna ask me, please upload the front of the postcard. So I'm just gonna go, and you can click on it if you're gonna go browse file, because my downloads show right here. I'm just gonna go and drag it. It would be the one that I show you guys that it doesn't work. Well, that one works. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I saved it wrong. Okay, for argument's sake, I'm just gonna go put the same one on there. I probably pushed something wrong or didn't click the manual bleed button. And if something doesn't work, feel free to just go back and download it again. It's weird. I feel like I just have to try stuff a couple times sometimes. So I've got my front and my back of my postcard. I know they're the same. You get the idea. So now I'm just gonna go to the next page. And it's just gonna ask me for some minor information. It's asking me for the market center name. The reason why it's asking me for this is this will be the return address label. So your DBA logo is already on here, so you're meeting compliance with that. So you could put Keller Williams South Valley if you want. I just get used to just calling it KW South Valley Keller Williams. But this will be the return address. Okay, and then I'm going to click verify. It might like this one better, so I'm just going to click confirm. And then this is the cool part, so targeting. So I do have to have an address in that neighborhood so that I can target the area, okay? So didn't plan for this ahead of time, so I'll just go. I don't know if the subdivision is called Sycamore, so we'll just guess yay. Okay, so 8077 Wickford Way is an address in that neighborhood. So oh, all right. Eight 408 Sorry, I'm like trying to move this around the Zoom. Okay. So all I've done is click local targeting and put in an address. And then I just want to say how many I want to order. So it's going to charge you 59 cents per postcard. That includes postage and printing and mailing it and you not having to leave your house. So I feel like it's a good price. For 200, it's 118. What's nice about this is that most print shops are going to have a minimum. But let's say I really only have the budget right now for 100. I can change that. I can send out one postcard if I want. There's not like a setup fee or anything like that. So that's a huge benefit of using this. So I'm just going to say I want to send out 100. Okay. And then I'm going to go click save. So I've got all these checked off. The next page is where the targeting shows up. So I've put in the address. So it's going to basically put me on the map, and it's going to pick homes around that address. Okay, so I have 100 right here. If I change my mind here, I can just go change that number, and it's going to change the map. Okay, so this is where Wickford Way is. So it's going to send a mailer to every one of those homes in that neighborhood. Okay, or at least 100 of them. So if I go, oh, I do maybe want to get more exposure, I'm going to go up to like 200. Then I really feel like I got most of that. I got a lot more of that neighborhood. Okay. So then another thing that you can do, and you're going to know more about the neighborhood, but do I want to just target single family homes? What am I trying to do? Do I want to just have a certain amount of bedrooms, or maybe that they're newer homes, year last sold? Maybe that's a targeting I want to filter by, because I just want to send mailers to people that their home has sold 5 years or before, because they're more likely to sell, right? So you guys can filter however you want. I'm just going to leave it how it is for now. You always want to select this button that says send copy to company address. What that's going to do is it will send a copy to our market center. It's going to have your face, your name on it. So then Carrie will let you know that you have mail, just like if someone sent you something. I like that because you always want to add yourself to email campaigns and mailer campaigns, so you can see like what it looked like when it went out, stuff like that. So this is your opportunity, because you can't manually add addresses, and maybe you don't live in this neighborhood. So that's how you're going to get a copy of that. And it's going to tell you, okay, 200 postcards is $118. And because I added one for me, it's going to add that additional 59 cents. And then when I go to the next page, this is the important thing. Always wait for these previews to finish previewing. Especially if you go kind of really customize your templates, you may have like gone over into where the address goes, and you don't want to mess that up too much. So wait till those upload. So obviously this isn't the front, but you get the idea. So I feel good about this, right? It didn't bleed over into any area that I didn't want it to. And so I feel good. So then it's just going to give me this detail. If you submit your order by 3 p.m., your mailers go to production the same day, and then they're distributed the next day. So within 4 to 6 business days, these are going to be in these people's mailboxes. And then this just gives you the detail of what you're going to be charged. And then I just click make a payment, and it just pops up my card info. If I've already done a mailer, it's already going to be in here. And it just will say real mailers on your credit card statement. And then you're good to go. And then you've just sent out a mailer. So what questions do you guys have about that?
So that 5 megabit or megabyte limit you ran into, does that have to do with like the pictures you put in, or?
It could be. So that's the thing, is that there is a little bit of troubleshooting with this. So I might go try to just download it again, make sure I downloaded it correctly. If I continue to get that error, I might change like the size of the image or something like that. But most of the time, how you're saving it with that manual bleed check, the high res, and then doing it as a PDF, you shouldn't ever get resolution issues or size issues. but it could have been. And I like never switched that picture out, so who knows? It probably was. So,
and that's never gonna.
There will be.
Oh, I was gonna say it as you kind of started touching on it as far as like resolution issues. So say like we tried to download a slightly lower resolution to get around the size issue. I mean, have you ever run into resolution issues when you send out the postcards?
No, and I always that preview, you'll be able to tell if you have a resolution issue. So a lot of times people will just get excited. They're like, yeah, make a payment, and they don't wait for that thing. But I've seen like addresses totally like go over someone's face before because they didn't wait for it. So as long as you let that preview load, you'll be able to tell if you have a resolution issue or not. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so I just showed you one example. There's obviously a lot of different things that you can do in here. But if mailers is on your list, especially if you're looking for business and it's not somebody, it's not like you're targeting your database, this is the easiest way to do mailers, in my opinion. So, and it's pretty comparable. I've never heard someone tell me it's more expensive to send mailers through command. Most of the time they're saying it's the same, if not less. And then you're not having to worry about, again, right now, this is super important. You're not having to, even if you have a bulk mail permit, like you have to go there, you have to figure that out. That's just, if we had actually put in a card and pushed submit, we would have mailers being ordered right now for that neighborhood. So super easy. Does anyone have any other questions? I would just suggest playing around with this. The social templates, there's a lot of them. You can advertise your app. You can advertise, like I said, open houses, listings. You could make almost the same thing, that neighborhood snap, for a social media post. And if you change the neighborhood every time, then it just looks really cool because you know a lot about a lot of neighborhoods. So just a couple of ideas. But I'm always here to answer any questions. We are going to dive into, on Thursday, we're going to dive into the listing and buyer presentations and how you go and edit all of those. They're a little bit more robust. That's why they kind of have their own thing. And then Terry will be on that one too, just to kind of talk about some of the things that you would want to go over in it. So it's mainly on command and how you make it, but she's going to add some of the stuff in there. So if you haven't already come to that class, that's a good one to go to. Okay, guys. Well, if you aren't doing anything, Matt Townsend is the speaker today at 11. I posted it on our Facebook page, but his is going to be really good. And that's our team meeting today. So
Thank you so much.